Life is never a straight path, and it never promises to be easy. Sometimes you will be faced with challenges and moments of doubt that seem insurmountable. But what if those very challenges, those seemingly impossible obstacles, were actually the opportunities you needed to grow? Life has a way of throwing curveballs, things we don't expect, things we didn't choose, and things we didn't anticipate. These moments test us, but here's the crucial thing. Nothing in life is truly worthwhile unless you are willing to take risks. Taking risks doesn't mean you're always going to succeed. In fact, failure often comes hand in hand with boldness and courage. But without those risks, without stepping into the unknown, without putting yourself out there despite the fear, there is no growth, no progress, and no breakthrough. Risk is what moves you forward. As you journey through life, you will encounter moments when you are forced to step outside of your comfort zone. Whether it's applying to a college, choosing a career path, or deciding to speak your truth in an environment that doesn't support you, life will require you to take chances. These are the moments that define your character. Some people will advise you to play it safe, to have a backup plan, or to stay within the boundaries that society has set for you. But here's the thing, having a backup plan might sound comforting, but it often keeps you from pushing yourself to truly soar. If you always have something to fall back on, you may never muster the courage to leap forward. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that's less than the one you are capable of living." These words should echo in your mind as you face life's challenges. There's a world of potential waiting for you, but you have to be brave enough to step into it, to embrace uncertainty, and to put yourself at risk. Taking risks is a form of belief in your ability to overcome, to learn, and to grow. When you don't take risks, when you play it safe, you're telling the world and yourself that you don't trust your potential. You don't trust that you can handle failure, that you can handle rejection, that you can handle the challenges that will inevitably come your way. But if you make the decision to leap, to push through your fears, you open yourself up to a world of possibility. You open yourself up to the chance of achieving something great, something bigger than what you ever imagined for yourself. There's a powerful lesson in failing. Failing isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign that you dared to try. You took a chance. And in taking that chance, you learned, you grew, and you got stronger. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. People like Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. He didn't let those failures stop him. He saw each one as a step closer to success. He didn't let the idea of failure define him. Instead, he defined failure as part of the process, a necessary component of innovation and progress. The truth is, every time you fail, every time you fall short of your goals, you are building resilience. You are learning what works and what doesn't. Each failure brings you closer to success, closer to your dreams, closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. This is why it's important not to fear failure, but to embrace it, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone to something greater. When you face failure, do not see it as a reflection of your worth. It's simply a part of the journey. Life is not always about winning or achieving the end goal immediately. It's about showing up, trying again, and pushing forward. There is wisdom in the struggle, and strength in the process. The world often rewards those who are not afraid to fail, those who have the courage to keep going, even when things are tough. Imagine for a moment that you never took any risks, you never applied for that job, never went after your dreams, never reached out for that opportunity. What would your life look like? You'd be stuck in a cycle of fear and regret, constantly wondering what could have been. But when you choose to step out of your comfort zone, when you choose to take risks, you open yourself up to a life full of possibilities. You open yourself up to the chance of discovering your true potential. That's what taking risks is all about. It's about seeing the bigger picture. It's about understanding that life isn't always perfect, but that perfection isn't necessary for you to grow and achieve greatness. Life is about progress, not perfection. Every step forward is a step towards something greater, even if it feels uncomfortable or difficult. Sometimes you have to get a little uncomfortable to find out what you're really made of. And in those moments of discomfort, that's where the real transformation happens. At the end of the day, taking risks is an act of courage. It's about believing that you are capable of greatness, even when the world seems uncertain. It's about understanding that your potential is limitless. If you're willing to step into the unknown, face your fears, and embrace the challenges that life throws your way. So as you face the risks in your own life, remember that the only real failure is not trying at all. Choose to take the leap, even when it's scary. Choose to fail forward, and know that with each risk you take, you are one step closer to the life you were always meant to live. Failure is not the end. In fact, failure is often the first step towards success. It's a hard truth to accept, but it's essential. When you fail, it feels like you've hit a wall, like your dreams have been crushed, and that the path ahead is too steep to climb. But failure is not a roadblock. It's a lesson, a moment in time where you can gather strength, learn from your mistakes, and prepare for your next attempt. You cannot avoid failure if you're trying to achieve anything significant. Failure isn't just possible, it's inevitable. What truly matters is how you respond to it. Will you let it stop you, or will you use it as fuel to keep moving forward? Imagine a life where you never fail, where everything goes according to plan, where success comes easily. On the surface, that sounds perfect, but the reality is, without failure, there's no growth. Without failure, there's no learning. The most successful people in the world didn't get where they are by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it, by standing back up each time they fell. They used every setback as an opportunity to improve, to refine their craft, and to develop resilience. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. Take a moment and think about some of the greatest achievements in history. Think about the invention of the airplane, the light bulb, or the first successful moon landing. These feats didn't happen on the first try. They were the result of countless failures, of countless attempts to get things right. Thomas Edison, for example, failed 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Each failure taught him something new, and each lesson brought him closer to success. The same is true for you. Every failure you face is not a sign to quit, it's a stepping stone to success. The people who succeed aren't the ones who avoid failure, they are the ones who push through it. Failure at its core is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible. When you fail, you are forced to reflect. You have to analyze what went wrong, what you can do differently, and how you can approach the situation with new insight. That's how progress happens. The key to success is not the ability to avoid failure, it's the ability to learn from it. The more you fail, the more you learn, and the more equipped you are to face the next challenge. It's also important to understand that failure isn't permanent. It's just a moment in time, not a reflection of who you are as a person. Too often, we let a single failure define our self-worth. We think that because we failed at something, we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to succeed. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Failing at something doesn't make you a failure. It simply means that you've tried something new, something challenging, and it didn't go as planned. But that doesn't mean it's the end. Far from it, it's just the beginning of a new phase. One where you become stronger, smarter, and more capable. In the world of sports, there's a saying, it's not how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. This is the essence of resilience. The true measure of success isn't whether you fail, but whether you have the courage to try again. Every time you get back up, you are telling the world and yourself that you won't be defeated. You are saying, I'm stronger than this. I'm capable of overcoming this. This is what resilience looks like. The ability to get back up, no matter how many times you fall. It's the refusal to let failure be the end of the story. So as you move forward in life, Remember this, failure is not the enemy, it's a tool that helps you grow and move closer to your goals. Each time you fail, you gain experience, wisdom, and insight. And that experience will be invaluable when you face the next challenge. Embrace failure, don't fear it. Understand that it's a necessary part of the journey, not something to avoid at all costs. There's another important truth about failure. It teaches you humility. When you fail, it forces you to confront your limitations. It makes you realize that you don't have all the answers, and that there's always more to learn. This humility is a gift, because it keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you are always growing, always evolving, and that no matter how successful you become, there's always room for improvement. Failure is a teacher that keeps you humble and helps you stay focused on the process, rather than the outcome. One of the biggest reasons people are afraid of failure is because they don't want to be judged. We live in a world that's quick to criticize, quick to point out flaws, and quick to label people as failures. But the truth is, no one can succeed without failing first. Everyone who has ever achieved greatness has faced failure along the way, and no one remembers the failures. They remember the successes, the triumphs, the moments when people refuse to give up. So don't let fear of judgment stop you from taking risks. Don't let the possibility of failure hold you back. The world needs people who are willing to try, to fail, and to keep trying until they get it right. Remember, failure is not an obstacle. It's part of the journey. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, and a chance for growth. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of never trying. As you continue down your path, know that every failure brings you closer to success. So take that risk, fall forward, and when you get back up, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more prepared for whatever comes next. Life is not always going to go as planned. It's easy to dream big, to set goals, and to believe that success is just around the corner. But the truth is, setbacks and challenges are an unavoidable part of the journey. No matter how talented or prepared you are, there will be moments when everything seems to fall apart. You'll face obstacles, disappointments, and unexpected turns. And in those moments, it's easy to feel lost, to want to quit, and to question whether it's worth continuing at all. But here's where true strength lies, in how you respond to those setbacks. Resilience is the key to moving forward in the face of adversity. It's the ability to bounce back, to recover, and to keep going when life knocks you down. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges or pretending that everything is always going well. It's about accepting that things will go wrong, but knowing that you have the inner strength to overcome them. It's about looking at failure, not as an ending, but as a chance for growth and renewal. When setbacks occur, they can feel like the end of the world. It's natural to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even defeated. But what matters most is how you pick yourself up afterward. It's easy to stay down when things go wrong. It's easy to get discouraged and believe that it's all too much to handle. But when you choose to rise up, to fight back, and to push through the pain, you begin to develop resilience. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind may bend its branches, the rain may soak its leaves, but the tree doesn't break. It stands firm, its roots digging deeper into the earth with each storm. And when the storm passes, it's stronger than before. The same is true for you. Every challenge you face is like a storm that tests your roots. And the deeper your roots, your sense of self, your determination, your resilience, the stronger you become. Each storm you weather adds to your strength, and you emerge from it more powerful, more stable, and more ready for whatever comes next. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is that it teaches you to adapt. When things don't go as planned, you have two choices. You can either give up or find a new way to move forward. Adaptability is the key to survival. It's the ability to adjust your plans, to change your approach, and to keep going even when the path ahead seems unclear. Sometimes, life doesn't give you what you expect, but that doesn't mean you can't make something good out of what you have. Consider the most successful people in the world. They didn't get to where they are because they never faced difficulties. They got there because they were resilient in the face of adversity. They were willing to adapt, to learn and to grow through the challenges they faced. They understood that setbacks weren't roadblocks, but opportunities to pivot, to find new solutions, and to keep moving forward. This ability to adapt, to learn and to persevere, is what sets successful people apart from those who give up too soon. But resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's also about developing a mindset that allows you to view challenges through a different lens. Instead of seeing failure as a personal defeat, you start to see it as an opportunity to grow. When you face a setback, you ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? This mindset shift is crucial. It's not about avoiding failure or pain, but about embracing it as part of the process. It's about knowing that failure doesn't define you, it refines you. Another important aspect of resilience is perspective. When things go wrong, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and to lose sight of the bigger picture. But often what seems like a huge setback is actually just a small detour in your journey. Sometimes, things don't go according to plan, because life has something even better in store for you. Resilience is about trusting that the challenges you face are part of a greater purpose. They may be uncomfortable, painful or frustrating, but they are necessary steps on the path to something greater. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't get into the college you wanted. Maybe you didn't get the job you worked so hard for. Maybe your dreams didn't come true in the way you expected. At the time it probably felt like the end of the world. But looking back, you may realize that those setbacks led you to something even better. Sometimes, the universe has a way of guiding you to where you're meant to be, even if it doesn't look like what you expected at first. One of the most empowering things about resilience is that it's something you can cultivate. Resilience isn't a trait that you're born with, it's a skill that you develop over time. The more challenges you face, the stronger your resilience becomes. Each time you overcome a setback, you build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. You begin to trust yourself more, to believe that you are capable of weathering any storm. But resilience is not just about individual strength, it's also about the people around you. Sometimes, when you feel like you can't go on, it's the support of others that helps you keep going. Resilience is not a solo journey, it's about having a network of people who believe in you, who encourage you, and who help you stay focused on your goals. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who remind you of your strength, and who help you stay grounded in the face of adversity. As you move forward in life, remember that setbacks are not the end, they are opportunities for growth. The challenges you face will make you stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the next phase of your journey. Embrace resilience, learn to adapt, to keep going, and to trust that every setback is just another step towards success. When you develop the strength to rise, after every fall, you become unstoppable. Life is full of moments where things don't go the way you expect them to. You might feel like you're running on the right track, but out of nowhere, something unexpected happens, and everything seems to come crashing down. It's easy to let those moments define you, to think that failure is the end of the road. But the reality is that failure is not an obstacle. It's a step on the path to success. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be ready to fall, to stumble, and to get back up again. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as fuel to push them forward, to learn, to grow, and to get better. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough or that you're not cut out for success. It simply means that you are learning, and learning is an essential part of growth. It's through failure that we discover what works and what doesn't, and we develop the strength to keep going despite the setbacks. The fear of failure holds many people back from taking risks, from stepping out of their comfort zones, and from pursuing their dreams. They worry about what might go wrong, about the judgment they might face, or about how failure might affect their self-worth. But you have to realize that failure is inevitable. It's not something that might happen, it's something that will happen. The key to success is not avoiding failure, but learning to thrive in the face of it. Think about Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. He failed over 1,000 times before he successfully created the light bulb. Imagine if he had given up after his first few failures. Imagine if he had let the fear of failure control him. The world would look very different today. Instead, he embraced failure, learned from it, and kept going until he succeeded. Every failure brought him one step closer to his goal. That's the mindset you need to adopt. Failure is not the end. It's just part of the process. Every time you fail, you're getting closer to success. Failure also teaches you resilience. It's easy to be motivated and confident when everything is going well, but true strength comes when things go wrong. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward, even when it feels like the world is falling apart. It's the willingness to get back up, no matter how many times you fall down. It's about learning to keep your eyes on the bigger picture, to stay focused on your goals, and to trust that the challenges you face are only temporary. When you embrace failure as part of the process, you develop the resilience to bounce back stronger and more determined than ever. In fact, some of the greatest successes come from the most difficult and painful experiences. Many times, failure is the very thing that sets you on the path to success. It's through our failures that we learn the most valuable lessons. It's through our mistakes that we gain the wisdom to make better choices in the future. Every failure gives us the chance to start over, to approach things from a new angle, and to become better versions of ourselves. So instead of fearing failure, we should embrace it. It's an essential part of the journey, and it's what makes success even sweeter. Think about all the people who have achieved incredible success in their lives. They didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it, learning from it, and using it to fuel their drive to succeed. They failed, they fell, and they picked themselves back up again. They understood that failure is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It's a sign that you're trying, that you're pushing yourself beyond your limits, and that you're willing to take risks to reach your goals. Success is not about avoiding failure, it's about how you respond to it. It's about keeping your head up, your heart strong, and your mind focused on your goals. It's about using failure as a stepping stone, not as a roadblock. It's about learning from your mistakes, adjusting your approach, and trying again. Every time you fail, you get better. Every time you fall, you rise stronger. Every failure brings you closer to the success you're striving for. One of the most powerful aspects of failure is that it teaches you humility. When you succeed without failing, it's easy to get arrogant, to believe that you have it all figured out. But when you fail, you learn how to humble yourself, how to accept that you don't have all the answers, and how to keep learning. Failure teaches you that there's always room for growth, always something new to learn, and always an opportunity to improve. It helps you stay grounded, focused, and driven to continue the journey. So as you move forward in life, remember this: failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It's a natural part of the journey, and it's one of the most important teachers you'll ever have. Each time you fail, you get one step closer to success. Each time you fall, you rise stronger. Don't be afraid to take risks, to push yourself beyond your limits, and to fail. It's through failure that you'll learn, grow, and become the person you're meant to be. Fall forward, keep going, and trust that each failure is a step toward your success. At the heart of every great achievement lies passion, a deep burning desire to do something meaningful, something that matters. Passion is the fuel that keeps the engine running when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when you're not seeing results right away. It's what drives you to wake up early, stay up late, and keep going when everyone else has stopped. But passion alone isn't enough. You need direction. You need purpose. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing, and that why has to be strong enough to keep you going through the storms of life. Purpose gives you clarity. It gives you a reason to keep going when nothing else makes sense. It's the compass that keeps you moving forward, even when the road is dark and uncertain. When your purpose is clear, you can endure anything. You can face rejection, criticism, setbacks, and failure without losing your way. That's why it's so important to not only follow your passion, but to connect it with a purpose that is bigger than yourself, something that serves others, something that brings value to the world. When your passion and purpose align, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. But even with passion and purpose, there will be moments when doubt creeps in. Moments when you question if you're on the right path. Moments when you feel like giving up. That's when persistence becomes your greatest weapon. Persistence means showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It means doing the work, even when the results aren't immediate. It means continuing to believe in your vision, even when others don't. So many people give up too soon, not because they weren't talented or capable, but because they didn't stay long enough to see the breakthrough. Persistence is what separates those who wish from those who win. You're going to have days when nothing goes right, days when you feel stuck, lost, or overwhelmed. On those days you have a choice. You can either give in to the struggle, or you can dig deep and push through. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They're the ones who kept moving forward, step by step, even when the odds were against them. They didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't stop when they failed. They didn't stop when they were tired. They kept going, because their passion gave them energy, their purpose gave them direction, and their persistence gave them the strength to continue. Think of the most inspiring people you know. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, activists, teachers. What do they all have in common? They've all failed. They've all faced rejection. They've all heard people tell them they wouldn't make it, but they kept going. They believed in themselves even when others didn't. They put in the work when no one was watching, and eventually they made it. That's what you need to do. You need to believe so deeply in your vision that you're willing to fight for it. You need to be so connected to your purpose that no amount of failure can shake you. You need to be so persistent that you refuse to quit until you reach your goal. It's also important to understand that your path won't look like anyone else's. Your journey is unique. Your timing is your own. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't let someone else's success timeline make you feel behind. Focus on your own progress. Measure how far you've come, not how far you have left to go. Celebrate your small wins. Learn from your losses. Keep improving, keep growing, and keep trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The road to success isn't straight. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But every step you take gets you closer to where you're meant to be. As you walk this path, you'll also encounter people who try to discourage you. People who say your dreams are too big, your goals too ambitious, your ideas unrealistic. Don't let their fear become your limitation. People will project their doubts onto you because they can't see what you see. But that's okay. Your vision is not meant for them. It's meant for you. Protect your dream. Nurture it. Guard it against negativity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you, who believe in you. Build a circle of support that reminds you of your strength, your purpose, and your potential, especially on the days when you forget. And remember, greatness doesn't happen overnight. It's built day by day, choice by choice, action by action. Every time you choose to show up, every time you choose to try again, every time you choose to stay committed, you're building something powerful. You're creating momentum. You're turning your dreams into reality. The results may not be visible yet, but the foundation is being laid, and one day the world will see what you've been building all along. So keep going, stay passionate, stay purposeful, stay persistent. Your time is coming. Your breakthrough is on the horizon. You have everything you need inside of you. You have the heart, you have the vision, you have the strength. All you need now is the commitment to keep going. So rise up, show up, step forward. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let failure define you. Don't let delay discourage you. Your story is still being written. And if you keep going, keep believing, keep pushing, you will become everything you were born to be. Passion, purpose, persistence. That's the formula. That's the foundation. That's the way forward. Failure. It's a word that stirs anxiety in almost everyone. From a young age, we're taught that failure is something to be avoided. Don't fail that test. Don't lose that game. Don't disappoint anyone. And so we begin building walls of caution, of hesitation, of perfectionism, just to avoid the shame of falling short. But what if I told you that failure isn't the enemy? What if I told you that failure is one of the most powerful tools you'll ever have? Because in truth, failure doesn't mean you're done. It means you've started. It means you were brave enough to try. And that's where real success begins. Not in perfection, but in the willingness to start, fall, and rise again. Too many people never begin their journey because they're too afraid to fail. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect conditions. But perfection is a lie. It never arrives. There's no perfect moment, no flawless plan, no guaranteed outcome. There is only now, this moment, this choice. And in this moment, you can choose to move forward despite the fear. You can choose to begin. That's where courage lives. Not in the absence of fear, but in the decision to act even while you're afraid. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, every dream that became reality, all of them started with someone who was scared, uncertain, and unsure, but who started anyway. Let's be clear, you will fail. That's not meant to discourage you, but to prepare you. Failure is part of growth. It's part of learning. The first time you try something big, you probably won't get it right. The first time you step out of your comfort zone, you're going to stumble. That's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're pushing yourself, you're stretching, you're reaching. Every stumble teaches you something new. Every setback shows you a weakness that can be turned into strength. Every failure is a stepping stone, not a tombstone. It's not the end of your story. It's a part of it. Think about Thomas Edison, the man credited with inventing the light bulb. He failed over 1,000 times before he got it right. When asked how it felt to fail, that many times he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's the kind of mindset you need. Stop seeing failure as final. Start seeing it as feedback. It's not telling you to stop. It's showing you how to improve. Every failed attempt brings you closer to a breakthrough, but only if you stay in the game, only if you keep trying, only if you refuse to let failure define your limits. The truth is, fear and failure are twin forces. Fear will try to paralyze you before you begin. Failure will test your resolve once you do. But both can be conquered with one powerful word: try. Just try. That's where strength is born, in the trying. Because every time you try again, you grow. You get smarter. You get stronger. You build endurance. You develop grit. And most importantly, you start to believe in yourself. You begin to trust that you are capable, that you can figure it out, that you don't have to have all the answers right away. You just have to keep showing up. If you're waiting for a sign to start that dream, to take that risk, to make that move. This is it. Start messy. Start small. Start scared. But start. Don't let fear trick you into living a life that's safe but empty. Don't let the idea of failure keep you from discovering your power. Because here's the secret. The most successful people are not the ones who failed the least. They're the ones who failed the most and kept going. They didn't let failure make them bitter. They let it make them better. And yes, people will judge you. People will criticize you. They'll talk when you fall. But guess what? They were never in the arena with you. They didn't take the leap. They didn't make the sacrifice. You did. And you'll rise from every failure not just with more experience, but with more courage, more clarity, and more fire. You'll begin to realize that failure doesn't break you. It builds you. It reveals your resilience. It unlocks your next level. Look back at your life right now. Some of your greatest lessons didn't come from success. They came from pain, from loss, from rejection, from doors closing. And yet here you are, still standing, stronger than you were, wiser than you were, and more capable than ever. So don't run from failure. Respect it, learn from it, use it, because every failed attempt is just proof that you're still alive, still trying, still growing. And that's more than most people will ever do. You were not created to play small. You were not made to live in fear. You were born to chase something bigger than comfort, something meaningful, something hard, something worth failing for. So fall forward, get up again, take the risk, embrace the lesson, and remember, the only real failure is not trying at all. The rest, it's just part of the climb. And so here we are at the end of the message, but not the end of your journey. In fact, this is only the beginning, because now you carry something different, not just words, but a reminder that within you lies something unbreakable, unshakable, and unstoppable. You've learned that failure is not final. That risk is the price of greatness, and that pain does not mean defeat. It means you are still in the fight. Life will not hand you guarantees. It won't always be fair. There will be moments that shake you, disappoint you, humble you, but there will also be moments that awaken you, define you, and transform you. These are the moments when you discover who you really are. You will fall, you will get bruised, you may even break, but you are not the break, you are not the fear, you are not the doubts, you are the warrior who stands back up, you are the soul who finds the strength to try again. You are the light that darkness could not hold. So when the world tells you to quit, when your own mind whispers that you're not enough, remember that voice is lying. You are more than enough. You have everything it takes. All you have to do is decide. Decide that you're going to keep moving, that you're going to rise, and that you're going to build something beautiful from the wreckage. When you reach the edge of your comfort zone, go further. When life says no, find your yes. When you feel afraid, move anyway. You don't need all the answers right now. You don't need to have everything figured out. Just take the next step. Even a small step, taken with faith, can lead to something massive. And if you fall again, fall forward, fall with purpose, fall into growth, fall into strength. Because the fall does not define you. What you do after does. You are capable of extraordinary things. You were not made to live in the shadows of regret. You were made to shine in the light of purpose. Don't waste your gift. Don't silence your voice. Don't hold back your dream. The world is waiting on what only you can bring. And when your time comes to look back on your life, to measure it not in years but in courage, in love, in effort, let it be said that you gave it all, that you dared to try, that you didn't just exist, you lived, fully, freely, fearlessly. This is your time. Your story is still being written. And no matter where you've come from, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, you have the power to rise, again and again. Keep going, keep growing, keep fighting, and always, always, fall forward.